All of them?
Yes, sir.
So where do you think McDonald could have acquired the sword?
The only place they would have sold them, the base exchange.
Roosevelt Roads Naval Station?
Yes, sir. If a clerk was lax in checking IDs, he could have bought one as a souvenir. But you'd have to hide it on board.
Why's that?
Enlisted men aren't allowed to carry weapons on ship. That'd be insane.
We're taking care of you, I trust.
Very nice, Skipper.
I didn't know the boy very well.
No one did, it seems.
He was doing some maintenance work on my computer last week. Seemed to be in a bit of a daze. So I had a corpsman administer a drug test. He was clean.
Toxicology test we gave him came up negative.
What do you make of the uniform, the sword and all?
Not sure. But we think he was involved in an online fantasy game.
Like an MMORPG?
Yeah.
My children play. A lot.
But we think he might have taken it a step further and staged real fights with someone on board.
On board? How would that be possible?
Well, Skipper, I'm sure you know this ship better than anyone else under your command.
Inside and out, Agent Gibbs.
So, if you wanted to stage a sword fight with another shipmate and not get caught.
Damage control in the machine shop at night.
Damn! King's guards again. Okay, I'm turning left into the dungeon, and I spy a... Great stuff and power! Oh! Kick their asses! I already surpassed the 3rd level of the fortress and made it into the dungeon corridor of the castle's inner stronghold. After, of course, slaying 2 gnomes, a drunken dwarf, and a frenzied ogre.
Of course. You know, this reminds me of something. Actually, I can't think of a thing it reminds me of.
The night Seaman McDonald died, there were 3 laceration injuries. 2 were work-related, verified by the division officers. The other? Prank gone wrong, in front of 7 witnesses. It didn't involve a sword.
Well, there have to be injuries that don't have witnesses.
All the time, ma'am. Mostly after a Liberty call. Surprising number of shaving cuts.
Chief, it would be helpful if I could get some of the files of any of the questionable lacerations.
Going back how far, ma'am?
A couple of months?
I'll need a couple of hours.
I like the symmetry. McDonald's mystery friend. Did he ever mention being afraid of him?
He only talked about him once. It's more like Seaman McDonald was in awe of him.
You're a prince, Ducky.
Is that a safe occupation in this, what's this game you're playing?
The Immortals. And being a prince is pretty safe. Unless the elf sorceress invades the king's apartment and turns you into an ogre. Whoa, whoa, I just dodged a flaming arrow.
Well done.
I'm almost there, Ducky.
Where
More like
exactly
the mystical
is...
half-elf warrior Waylon. It's Weylin. That charter we found on McDonald's body, it referred to his main rival, Kinvaris. Their main mode of combat was parley.
Abby!
Sword fight.
Sounds like something that
Oh,
could
and
happen in the game.
Beheading's more likely.
Why do they use such weird names?
When you're a computer geek invading dungeons and fighting ogres, Jethro doesn't cut it. Neither does Tony.
Seaman McDonald bought an officer's sword and was teaching himself how to use it. I think he found out who else on board was role-playing.
Boris.
Decided to take it to the next level. Reality.
Well, boss, if they both had to have swords, chances are they bought them at the Navy Exchange in Puerto Rico.
I could helo there, make an undercover purchase of a sword, bust the clerk, swap the bust for info on who bought the swords from the ship. Could be there back in 24 hours.
6.
12.
It's not a negotiation, Donoso.
6.
Well, the Navy has these rules, okay? Take it up with them.
I'll pay extra. Come on. I just want to take it home as a souvenir. Nobody's gonna know.
$600.
They retail for $4.
I could lose my job.
500. All right, all right. You all right?
You okay?
Yes.
I'm finding this very hard to understand, Abby.
Where did I lose you?
I think somewhere around the part about Whalen and Kinvaris.
Okay. Seaman McDonald was Whalen,
Got that.
and Petty Officer Zuger was Kinvaris.
So remember that because it sounds a lot like Canaris.
What?
German Navy Admiral, World War II.
Okay, whatever works for you. So we've got McDonald, Whalen, and Zuger, Kinvaris, battling online in the Immortals game. Zuger always wins. So McDonald challenges him to a fight, like for real. And they both buy officer swords at the Navy Exchange in Puerto Rico.
But they were enlisted.
Let's say they bought their commissions.
That was done at one time, you know.
So they're sword fighting, and McDonald wins. He cuts Zuger. Zuger gets pissed, and he goes back to the one thing that he knows he can beat McDonald at.
The Immortals.
Yes and no. Zuger realizes that McDonald has tripped out and thought he really was Whalen. So Zuger challenges him to prove it. McDonald puts weights around his waist, jumps ship, and tries to walk across the bottom of the bay to dry land.
You know, Abby, sometimes the dead make more sense to me than the living.
Me too.
All right.
Just can't get over how the line between reality and fantasy was so blurred for Seaman McDonald.
For him, destroying Zuger's website was every bit as real and violent as trying to kill a skipper.
I'm so glad my parents pushed me into sports in high school. Aren't you interested at all in what I brought you back from Puerto Rico?
Sure. You've got to be kidding.
It's bikini. Two-piece.
A bottom. And a hat?
Puerto Rican.
Any chance you're going to try that on?
You first.
Trust me, not going to fit.
Pigs. I work with pigs.
It's a fantasy RPG book, complete with character sheets and dice. Baby steps, Gibbs. Baby steps.
It's in Spanish.
There's just no pleasing you, is there?